Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Maggie O with Homeschool with Maggie O, your homeschool mentor. Welcome back to my curriculum review series. We're continuing our math curriculum reviews. We have this one and one other one, and I think we're really gathering a really well-rounded library for you. And today we're looking at CTC Math. CTC Math is an online math curriculum covering kindergarten through grade 12. So we've kind of I think we've really done a good job of bringing a mix for you. And I'm still eager always to hear from you. And if you're wanting any other kind of reviews, let me know for any of subjects. We're going to go subject by subject through this. This is a big um, series that I'm bringing to you because I keep hearing you say you need this. So that's why we're doing this. And one of the features that immediately makes this program, CTC Math, interesting is that a membership gives students access to all grade levels rather than locking them into one particular grade. So here we come again. We've shown a little bit of audio visual and multiple online. This one brings just a little bit different dynamic to that and compared to the other ones that we've looked at. The program combines short video instruction, interactive questions, traditional worksheets, automatic grading, and detailed parent reporting. As always, I'm going to first show you how the program actually works on their own site, and then we're going to run it through my Maggie O Curriculum Fit Lens to look at which learners and homeschool families may find this approach particularly appealing. So let's dive in. Let me share my screen. So here we are on the official CTC Math website. Right at the top, we can see one of the main ideas behind the program. CTC Math is designed to allow students to learn at their own pace. And another thing I want to draw your attention to is this right here at the very, very top, that CTC Math is an approved vendor for multiple state ESA, EFA programs and charter schools. So I don't think we've seen that on the other ones so far. This is something that just popped out at me. The curriculum covers kindergarten through grade 12. So this is one of the full K through 12 math options in our review series. Some of them, we're either starting in grade 3 or they're stopping in grade 6. So this is a K through 12. Now I'm simply going to scroll down this homepage because CTC Math actually gives us a very straightforward look at how the program works. And I like this right away also. You see this? There's a free trial, and then you have some testimonials. And then here we are. The first major component is the video tutorials. The lessons use short video instruction with spoken explanations. Students can pause the lesson, they can rewind it, and they can repeat it when necessary. This means a student isn't forced to move forward simply because a teacher has finished explaining something. Think about that. They can go back and hear that explanation again and again and again. The lessons are intentionally designed to be concise and focused. So rather than sitting through a very long lecture before beginning the math, students receive the instruction and then move into practicing what they've learned. Here's more testimonials. There's also here's your free trial. There's some speed skills. They also, when they're in here, they will click on this. There's the interactive questions. After they receive the instruction, the students answer questions to demonstrate their understanding. The program provides immediate feedback. The questions can also increase in difficulty as the student progresses. And the results are automatically marked and recorded. So the basic learning cycle is very straightforward. Watch the instruction, practice the concept, receive the feedback, and the results are recorded. And then this next component is the worksheets and solutions. I love the website even. It's just so easy to navigate. And this is an important feature about the CDC math is online, but it doesn't require all mathematical work to happen exclusively on the screen. The program also does provide worksheets and worked solutions. This gives students the opportunity to use traditional pencil and paper to math. They're like kind of throwing it all at us. They're you can tell these programs have developed because people have been talking about what the need is. And particularly as math becomes more advanced, learning how to clearly show the steps used to solve a problem, that's really an important skill. So families can combine the convenience of online instruction with traditional written mathematical work. And then this last part is the reports. This is the next major component, parent reporting. CDC Math records the students' lessons, results, and allows parents to monitor progress. And this has to do with why it was approved or vice versa. The fact that it is approved by multiple states and some states require reporting. This is a big component to this program. Parents can see what lessons their child has completed. They can see scores. They can see how much time and effort has been spent, and they can identify areas where the student may need additional reviews. Parents can also choose to receive weekly progress reports sent to them via email. I always appreciate this type of feature with an independent online curriculum because it gives the student independence without leaving the parent completely disconnected from what is happening. So I love that. Now, I also want to point out something that makes CDC math particularly flexible. A membership provides access to all of the grade levels and lessons. Students are not restricted to working only within one grade. That means a student can move backward when they need to review an earlier concept, and they can move forward ahead when they are ready to, and when they feel more advanced and ready to tackle the next. This can also make it easier to address specific learning gaps because you can just go backwards and forward. You don't necessarily have to purchase an entirely a separate grade level curriculum because your child needs to revisit a concept from an earlier year. You already have the access to those lessons within the program. So this makes this a very dynamic program. And then you have the testing, diagnostic testing. Let's see if I can, again, your free trial. If you go through here, they tell you how it works. This is for the parents, for homeschoolers, about us, testimonials, etc. Again, your free trial, and then join now. For kindergarten through grade 8, they do also provide diagnostic testing. For kindergarten through grade 8, there are standard and comprehensive tests available for individual topics. So I want to see. Here's your form that you would fill out. Again, here's that unlimited access to across all grades, which is just amazing to me. And some testimonials. And then we're just going to kind of click some of this. Click here to try our lessons now. And here's your free trial again. You can just go in there. I'm not going to do that here, but you can go in and click it. But when a student completes a diagnostic test, parents receive information showing which lessons may need additional review. And I want to make an important distinction here. These are topic based diagnostic tools rather than simply one universal placement test that assigns your child a grade level. And because you have access to all of the levels, the information can then help you go directly to the area or areas where your child or children may need additional instruction. This can be particularly useful when you're switching curricula or when you know your child has gaps, but you're not exactly sure where the gaps are. And then we mentioned the free trial. I highly recommend you utilize that and let your child actually experience the teaching. Watch how they respond to the instructor and look at the lesson length, see whether the format makes sense to them, and then make your decision based on the child who will be using it. So now that we've reviewed CTC math and how it works and what's available, let's run through it through my Maggie O curriculum fit lens. Starting off as always with our learning style fit. Visual learners, strong potential fit. Students can see mathematical concepts explained through video instruction and worked examples. Auditory learners, definitely strong fit. The video tutorials include spoken explanations, and students can pause, rewind, and repeat. An independent learner, very strong potential fit. The instruction is delivered directly through the program, practice is built in, and much of the grading and progress tracking is handled automatically. Your read write learners supported through the worksheets. That's a little change, a little bit of added there, and written mathematical practice. Students can combine online learning with practical pencil and paperwork. Hands on kinesthetic learners, again, this is where I might look at it a little bit more carefully. CTCMath does describe its interactive questions as providing active participation, but this is still primarily an online program. A child who needs physical manipulatives to understand math concepts may need additional hands on materials. And again, I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's something for you to consider. And what about our unique learners? For a student who needs shorter, focused instruction, I see actually strong potential here because they are short, concise, and you can stop, start, pause, rewind, go forward. You've got a lot of dynamics going on there. And the video lessons are intentionally concise. So for some children with ADHD, that may be much easier to manage than a long lecture or extensive textbook lesson. The ability to pause and repeat instruction may also help students who need additional processing time. For a child with gaps in math foundations, I particularly like the combination of the diagnostic testing and access to all of the grade levels. That brings a whole nother level of dynamic that we haven't yet seen. You can identify a weaker area and then go back to the lesson that addresses it. For students who need to move at a different pace from their traditional grade level, having access to the entire curriculum provides significant flexibility. For a student with math anxiety, the ability to work privately at their own pace and repeat lessons without pressure may also they may find this really helpful. However, as with any online program, a child who needs intensive one-on-one teaching may require additional support beyond the curriculum itself. So let's talk about your homeschool philosophy fit. An eclectic homeschool, very strong potential fit. CTC Math can easily become your family's math curriculum while you use completely different approaches in other subjects. Relaxed homeschool, strong potential fit because the student can work at their own pace. Road schooling and traveling families, potentially strong because the curriculum itself is online and does not require families to carry an entire shelf of math books. Traditional homeschool, possibly, particularly for families comfortable using video instruction while still incorporating the printable worksheets. Classical homeschool, this will depend on the individual family and how much they value direct parent instruction versus independent digital learning. The Charlotte Mason or screen limited homeschool, this is probably naturally a weaker fit because the primary instruction is screen based. How about parent involvement? Well, I'd rate this parent involvement, teaching involvement as low. The parent delivers the instruction, the program delivers the instruction and handles much of the assessment and the record keeping. But again, low teaching involvement does not mean zero parent involvement. Parents should still monitor the reports and watch for areas of difficulty and make sure that their children are actually understanding the mathematics rather than simply completing the lessons. So, the strongest fit, I would say, for CDC math, if I was to tell somebody to put it on their research list, a child who learns well through short video instruction, a visual or auditory learner, a student ready for greater independence, a child who works at their own pace, a student with gaps who may need access to earlier material, a student who is ready to move ahead in of their traditional grade level, a family homeschooling multiple children, a parent who needs to reduce direct math teaching time, a family wanting one math membership with access across grade levels, and a family looking for a math program that can continue from kindergarten through high school. For those that need to have a little bit more caution, I would investigate it more carefully if your child strongly dislikes screen based learning. Your child needs significant physical manipulatives. Your child needs frequent direct interaction with a live teacher or parent, or your child struggles to stay focused when working independently online, or your homeschool philosophy intentionally limits screen time. So, CTC math versus teaching textbooks. We're going to compare those two because we've just reviewed two online programs back to back. I want to briefly distinguish them to help tease this out just a little bit more. Both teaching textbooks and CTC math can provide significant student independence. Both deliver math instruction digitally, and both reduce the amount of direct teaching and grading required from the parent, but they are not identical programs. One of CDC's main standout features is access to all grade levels with a membership, and that gives families significant flexibility to move backward for review or forward when a student is ready. Teaching textbooks, on the other hand, enrolls the student in a particular course and is known for its audio-visual step-by-step solution for every problem. So CDC math also begins in kindergarten and continues through grade 12, while teaching textbooks, remember, it didn't start until grade 3. And those differences may help you decide which format better matches your family's needs. So that's our look at CDC math. My biggest takeaways with this program is flexibility. You have K through 12 access. Students can move between levels. Lessons are short and focused. Students can pause and repeat instruction. Parents have access to detailed progress information, and maybe you need that for reporting. And diagnostic tools can help identify areas that need additional attention. If you have a student who learns well online, needs greater independence, or doesn't fit neatly into one traditional grade level box, CDC math is absolutely worth investigating. So, I'm Homeschool with Maggie O, your homeschool mentor. And remember, the goal isn't simply to find a curriculum that checks the most boxes. The goal is to find the curriculum whose particular strengths match the needs of the child or children sitting right in front of you. So, I'll see you in our next and final math curriculum review. Until next time, happy homeschooling.